So we have 4 topics. Yeah, great. So we have primarily 4 topics. So each one of us is going to cover one topic. We're also going to talk about COVID. So guys, stay tuned. We have a lot in store for you. So before I bring up Kothabde, before I bring up the first speaker, I would really want to just give a very brief intro of what we're going to cover. And to cover like how to build a good nutrition plan, diet changes for optimal efficiency during exams is a very small topic, but is very powerful. Will be extremely beneficial for people to improve their overall how to increase their efficiency while studying, right? How to build lean muscle mass without really hitting the gym, right? With home-based workouts, how do you do that? Battling COVID with good nutrition. While we understand that COVID is somewhat gone, but anyways, like we are expecting a third wave, so why not? Let's be prepared for that, right? And then we are going to have a Q&A session. So we have a lot in store for you. Stay tuned, guys. So before like we really come to this part, how to build a good nutrition plan for yourself, I would want to like invite Shubham. So Kothabdi, you can go ahead and you can start covering the fundamentals. Over to you.
Yeah. Uh, Good evening, everyone. So before we deep dive into how to make a good nutrition plan, I just explain the basic fundamentals that how the lifestyle has been changed, from the earlier century to current century. Okay, and what are the factors that has affect the human health? So I'd like to start with a very basic example or the basic thing. So 50 to 100 years back, people used to do a lot of physical work, and they were involved in agriculture practices, farming. So there are a lot of physical activity involved. But currently, the it has been changed. Even I am delivering currently the webinar on the laptop, and day to day, my job is also on the laptop. Similarly, you guys currently are in the campus, so you will be, after you graduate from the campus, you will be doing job, in the certain domain and the business functions like marketing, finance, or product management, and various others, right? And that jobs are nothing like a fieldwork job, but in that domain, you need to work on the laptop that you will getting a room and will sitting on a desk. So this is how the lifestyle has been changed. So this is the significant change in the human lifestyle. So this is the first point. Yeah, next. Yeah, second, the movement of our body. So earlier people used to have a lot of walk. They used to use the cycles. Currently, but everything is motorized. Like a lot of penetration of vehicles has come, cars, bikes. So this is how the change in the movement of our body. Okay. Yeah. So this is the second point. Third point, the household work. So previously, earlier centuries, the women, in the household, they used to do a lot of work using hands, like washing clothes, and even, doing the cooking stuffs, like cutting the wood and, burning the wood to cook the food. But currently, it is automated. Like we use the washing machines to wash the clothes, and a lot of, oven and other kitchen stuffs are used to cook the food, right? So from this initial 3 slides, I want to help you to understand and realize that now the human behaviors has been drastically changed. There is a drastically shift in the human lifestyle. The physical activity has been almost reduced, and human life has been automated because of the machines coming. Okay, so the conclusion is that the amount of energy that we used to spend in the earlier centuries, by our forefathers and the grandmothers and the grandfathers, currently that we are not doing the same. The lifestyle has been completely reduced. The energy spent is very less as compared to them, in terms of physical activity, in terms of professional work or the personal work. Right? Yeah. Coming to next. Yeah. So after understanding the change in the lifestyle, now we'll come to the another, that is the environmental factors. So previously, in the earlier centuries, like there were very clean air, no pollution, no vehicles penetration, ozone layer was good, good amount of clean oxygen, in the air. But currently the environment is quite polluted because of these vehicles, the fuel, a lot of toxic gases are evolved, and because of this pollution, and that leads to global warming and irregular, the seasonal cycles, like like summer, rainy, and everything, right? So this is how the drastic change in the environmental factors, and also this is also affecting the human health. So this is one, and next. Yeah. And the now this is most important point, the kind of food or the quality of food that has grown. So in the like during our when our grandmothers and grandfathers they used to do the farming, so a lot of organic farming practices were involved. But currently, as the population was very less. But currently, as the population has grown, and the population has increased, the demand for the food and vegetables compared to earlier centuries has also increased. Okay, मतलब जो अमाउंट में फूड और वेजिटेबल्स का डिमांड होता था पहले, अभी काफी बढ़ चुका है. And because of that increase in the demand of food and vegetables, the pressure on the land has been increased. So मतलब as the demand has grown, so the food or the vegetables that needs to grow, it should be increased in the terms of amount. Like initially, if it was 2x, now it's like 2x or 3x, in the same area of land that was used previously. So, but to grow these foods currently in the current practices, a lot of herbicides, pesticides and chemical fertilizers are used. And because of this use, the quality of soil has been depleted. And as the quality of soil has been depleted, the nutrition present in the food has also been depleted. So, in the earlier centuries, we used to get like 100% nutrition, but that is not the current scenario now. The nutrition has been drastically depleted. It's like only like 30 to 40%. Okay. So, what has changed? Summarizing, lifestyle has been changed, environmental factors has been changed, and the quality of food that has been grown that has changed. But what has not changed? So, let's see in the next slide. The type of food we eat that is not changed, and kind of food is nothing but an energy rich food. So previously our in the 50 to 100 years back, our forefathers they used to like energy rich food because the kind of work and activity they used to do in the farming and agriculture practices, it was a like lot of, and they needed that amount of energy, so they used to eat the energy rich foods. But abhi bhi we are also eating the energy rich foods, and but we are doing the job on the laptop, we have sedentary lifestyle. So the lifestyle has been changed, but जो source है जहाँ से energy मिलती है, जो energy rich food, that has not changed. And this is the fundamental gap we want to address from this session. And that is the mismatch between the diet and the lifestyle, which is the the baseline of this session. And we will help educate you and realize how to overcome it. Right? Okay. Next. Yeah. And yeah, as I was saying, the quality of soil that is being depleted because of these chemicals, pesticides and herbicides. So जो हम खाना खा रहे तो vitamins and minerals, the antioxidants present has been depleted and you are not getting in the 100%. So definitely there is a nutritional gap currently present in the food. And because of that, in earlier 20s to 30s, people start suffering from different issues like obesity, they gain hormonal imbalance that leads to PCOS or hair fall issue or acne, and all this because issue happens because of the nutritional gap that is being present in this food. So it is very necessary for this having the antioxidants, and how to overcome it we'll see heard from the other speakers, right? And if this nutritional gap continues, these problems will lead to on the worsen side, you know, and there will be certain amount kind of lifestyle disorders we people suffer from at a later stage. Okay. Now let's hear from what is leading to lifestyle disorders from another speaker, from my teammate Shrutika. So over to you, Shrutika. You can continue.
Yeah. So thank you, Shubham, for an amazing introduction. Like what has changed and what has not changed is, giving us a sufficient value that why our diet needs to change. But before going into what our diet needs to be as of now, let's look at what this thing is leading to. Firstly, because our lifestyle is changed, why are many people suffering from so many lifestyle disorders? And second most important reason is many basic terms you'll get to know like through my part of the presentation.
Oh, you're on mute, Shrutika. Shrutika, you're on.
Yeah. Am I audible now? Yeah. So the first part is oxidative stress. So like this is a very common term nowadays. People are talking about oxidative stress. So what exactly is oxidative stress? So our body is a giant biochemical reactors. There are many reactions which are happening inside our body. Breathing, digestion, like continuously there are reactions which are happening. So whenever there is a chemical reaction happening, there are free radicals which are getting generated. Now, these free radicals are causing damage to our cells. Okay, our cells, like you can see in the image shown, these free radicals are actually, damaging the cell. This is called as oxidative stress. Earlier, what used to happen, the food which we were having, it was so high in the vitamins, nutrition, micronutrition, that these free radicals were getting neutralized. But now, since the basic soil, basic vegetables are lacking that nutrition, this oxidative stress is increasing in our body. Next, hormonal imbalance. This is a very hype terms nowadays, and the reason for the hormonal imbalance. Firstly, what is hormones? Our brain is communicating with the different organs inside our body through hormones. Hormones are a way of communication. It's a way of interaction between our brain and the organs. So what happens is these hormones are, you can see like this images of a cell. So these hormones get into a cell receptor and the cells receive the message. But because of the food which we are having nowadays, it is so high in chemical fertilizers, pesticides, herbicide, that these receptors are being blocked by these fertilizers. Now, if the channel of communication is blocked, our hormones are not able to communicate the signal to our organs. So what is happening? Our brain is sending the message, but our organs are not able to receive that message. This is leading to hormonal imbalance because our brain is trying to give out more hormones to communicate to our organs. So this is exactly what is called as hormonal imbalance. And since a lot of chemical fertilizers and pesticides are being used in our agricultural practices, this thing has become very common nowadays. Like many girls are saying they are suffering from hormonal imbalance. Many boys are saying that they're suffering from many hormonal imbalance. So like in the next part of the presentation, you will realize what things can be done, to prevent these hormonal imbalance, to reverse this hormonal imbalance. Next important thing is insulin resistance. This you might have heard, maybe doctors talking to your grandparents or to your parents. Mostly people who suffer from diabetes, like to them, you might have seen that people are taking insulin injections or insulin resistance. Now, firstly, what is insulin? Insulin is a hormone which is responsible for controlling sugar levels inside our body. So whenever you eat something very sweet, sugar level inside your blood increases. That sugar level is controlled by this insulin hormone because it opens up the cells and sugar is transferred from the blood to the cells. This is how the sugar level is controlled. What happens if you have a diet which is very high in sugar, continuously you're munching onto something which is resulting in increase in insulin hormone? There comes a point when your cells stop responding to this hormone. This stage is called as insulin resistance, in which your cells are not opening up. Your cells have stopped listening to this hormone insulin. As a result, what happens? The sugar level inside the blood increases. The insulin hormone is not able to reduce the blood sugar level. This is called as insulin resistance. Insulin resistance is the major cause for diabetes and also PCOD. PCOD nowadays, many girls in the college itself, they are suffering from PCOD. What is PCOD? The first image shows a normal ovary. This is how a normal female ovary looks like. When girls start suffering from PCOD, there are multiple cysts which starts getting accumulated inside the ovary, near the boundary of that ovary. And whenever like girls do ultrasound, they find that there are multiple cysts, which doctors say that it is polycystic ovary syndrome. Now, what are the three main reasons which are resulting in PCOD? First reason being stress. Nowadays, girls are they are dealing with a lot of stressful situation. There's a lot of stress which is happening in life. This is the first reason which is resulting in PCOD. Second important reason is the type of food which we're having. Okay, the food which we're having is very high in energy. We are not able to utilize that energy. Continuously, insulin is getting released. This is the second reason why girls are suffering from PCOD. And third important reason is the amount of chemical fertilizer, pesticide, GMO foods which we're having in our diet. These all foods are mimicking our hormones inside our body and they are resulting in hormonal imbalance. So these are the three main reasons why girls nowadays are suffering from PCOD. All these things can be reversed if we take care of basic our lifestyle. All these things are being addressed if we minimize the stress, if we change our eating patterns, and we try to remove these chemicals which we have accumulated inside our body. All these three things can help in reversing the PCOD. Next thing is fatty liver. So what happens, like earlier what used to happen when people used to consume a lot of alcohol, they were suffering from fatty liver. But nowadays people who are not consuming alcohol, even they are suffering from fatty liver. Now what is the reason for this? Again, the same reason. The type of food which we're having, the type of chemical fertilizers which we're having through our diet, all these things are resulting in fatty liver also. When fat starts depositing into the liver cells, when insulin resistance happens to the liver cells, this results in fatty liver. Fatty liver can be cured. It is not like till the time the liver is not damaged to an extent that things can't be reversed. So fatty liver is reversible. But when that fatty liver goes into the stage of cirrhosis, then it is irreversible. So liver is an organ which can heal itself. It can, everything can become normal provided you stop having any chemical fertilizers, you stop having, type of food which is harming the liver. But it is like in today's world, it is not possible to avoid these foods. They have become a part of our diet. So proper care needs to be taken so that time to time you detox your liver, you help your liver to clean itself. So these are the measures which we can take. Next is thyroid. So again, like many, you might have your parents might be suffering from thyroid. You might know someone who is suffering from thyroid. So let's deep dive a bit into what exactly is happening in the thyroid issue. So our brain is communicating to our thyroid hormone through TSH. TSH is a thyroid stimulating hormone. It's a way of communication between brain and the thyroid hormone. So when brain sends the TSH to our thyroid organ, thyroid releases a hormone called T4. This T4 goes through the liver and it gets activated and it gets converted into T3. So T3 is the activated thyroid hormone. In most of the cases, the people who are suffering from thyroid, their thyroid issue is not a thyroid issue, but it's a liver issue. In most of the cases, the T4 production is normal, but the T4 to T3 conversion is hampered. So this clearly signifies that their main issue is the liver issue and it's not a thyroid issue. So it is very important to understand if someone is suffering from thyroid, what type of thyroid issue they have. Is it actual thyroid issue or it is a liver issue? To deal the problem accurately. Now, how to prevent this? I have given you a brief background on what are the issues which are happening, what things are leading to it. Now let's, look at how you can prevent all these things from Prakhar.
Yes. So am I audible to everyone? Cool. So hi everyone, like you got to know a great amount of idea about, you had a great idea about things that are not going well, what is it leading to. But one thing that we all are always curious about, this is happening, but how do we prevent it, right? What is the call to action or what is something that we can do to deal with this? So now I'll be talking about some changes that we can make in our lifestyle, and those changes will definitely help us to be in a better state that we are in currently, right? So first thing that I wanted to check with all of you, like I have created a generic breakdown of the Indian diet, and if we try to see, like the breakfast composition is mostly paratha, curd, sprout, bread jam, bread butter. Similarly for us, our strong front of Indian diet is dal chawal roti sabzi. So like this is typically a carbohydrate rich diet. If you see a breakdown of all of these meals, and you can also comment, by the way, you can also tell me in case I missed out any of your favorite meals. So it will also help me know if you guys are awake, or some of you might be feeling sleepy because of the high glycemic index food that we are consuming and sitting at home, lack of productivity. So that is the reason why our energy balance is totally gone topsy turvy. So if we try to identify, this is the kind of diet we have at our homes, right? But if I see the kind of diet we have in a mess, it is nowhere different. It is also containing the same high amount of carbohydrates. And we know, since we have read in our schools, like in elementary classes, that carbohydrates are energy giving food, right? So with that much amount of energy, we do not have an active lifestyle. So where is it going? Obviously, our body has a mechanism to store this additional energy in the form of fat. And that is why this extra surplus of energy, when it happens on a day, then it happens in a week, then it happens in a month, and over the period of time, we gradually start gaining weight. This typical breakdown of diet, which is high in carbohydrates, is one of the many reasons why we are noticing an inclination towards weight gain today. Now, how do we improve this scenario? So first thing we need to understand is we need to make ourselves educated about meal planning. And this is, it doesn't matter whether you're eating in a mess or you're eating at home, or even if you're eating at a buffet. All you have to understand is, how does my plate look like? The concept of mindful eating, because the real transformation is happening inside your brain. It is happening in your mind. Once you get an idea, then you can actually look at your plate, design your diet as per your requirement, and also add a few micronutrients. Now, what are micronutrients? Micronutrients are vitamins, minerals, your omega-3 fatty acids, your herbs like ashwagandha and all, which help you deal with stress. So we are trying to do a damage control. Like, we cannot, if there is a lot of stress in our job, if there's a lot of stress in our course, we cannot give up our course, right? We cannot give up our job, but we have to develop coping up mechanisms with that, right? So that high amount of stress in a job or high amount of stress in my course is not compromising my health, because health is a priority. If you're not healthy at the end of the day, like, for what good is all our accomplishment, right? So we want to make sure that we are educating ourselves. Now, this is a generic advice. If someone needs help in designing it particular to them, to their schedule, to their daily routine, to their body goal, they can also reach out to us after this call and we'll help them out. Now, let's take a look at some generic plans. So for example, this is a 1500 calorie plan. This is a basic requirement of someone who is having a sedentary lifestyle. Now, if we have a breakdown of calories, carbohydrates and protein, they contain 4 calories each, and fat contains 9 calories. So if we want to rationalize our eating, and you don't have to, kill yourself over a food weighing scale and measure everything, measure every ounce, just try to have an idea. For example, what are your major sources of protein during your day? Are you having a good amount of pulses? Are you having a good amount of paneer? Or if you're non-vegetarian, you're having a good amount of eggs and chicken. So you need to make sure that your calorie breakdown is somewhere around this figure, that 40% is coming from carbs, 30% from healthy fats, and 30% from protein. So this would somewhere look like this, in terms of grams. Now, again, I'm reiterating this. You don't have to measure everything, because that is something that athletes follow. That is something that people who are preparing for sports, professional sports, and who do this for a living, they do it this way. But for us, since we also have to manage our jobs, we have to manage our studies, we need to be in the close range of these figures, right? Now, once we start following this, I'll also show you some testimonies that people that we have worked with. So for example, Suryansh followed our diet staying in a hostel. Like, he followed this diet while staying at a mess, and he was able to manage it there. Now, Yogesh uncle is a typically different case altogether. Like, he's of a different age, and he had a different lifestyle, different regime, but we helped him identify what works for him as well. Similarly, many times we commit this mistake that we look at celebrity diet plans, or we go to YouTube and check out what this person ate, or for example what Farhan Akhtar ate to become ripped for his movie. But those are not realistic for us, right? We cannot manage that kind of a diet or that kind of a workout regime while managing our study or our work. So we need to make sure that what we are doing, so this again are some testimonies of thyroid reversal and healthy weight loss with improved muscle mass. We need to make sure what these people did, we need to apply it to ourselves, right? We need to understand and incorporate mindful eating so that we never go back to the obese self or the unhealthy self of ours. Now, one more thing after this, giving a general idea about diet planning, what all changes we can make, how should our macro split look like. We also want to ensure that how to increase our performance while studying, or any kind of task that requires us to sit at one place and do a lot of thinking, put in a lot of brain work. We need to make sure what diet helps us do that. So if I show you a graph of time versus insulin spike, so you see it is highest in terms of carbohydrates, and that is why when you take a break, you have any high carbohydrate food, for example, you have a sandwich, or you have a chai, a biscuit, something, then it leads to a sudden spike in your insulin levels. Now, whenever you have that sudden spike of insulin, you feel like taking a nap, because this is the time where your blood sugar levels are high and insulin has to do the work of taking that high blood sugar from your bloodstream and store it in the cell. So if we move towards high protein and high fat sources of our diet, maybe we have a healthy fat snack, like incorporating some nuts and seeds, which are high in healthy fats, omega-3 fatty acids. And this will help us to make sure we have a constant stream of energy, not a spike and dip. Because whenever there's a spike, there'll also be a dip. So these two sources of energy are actually helping us to stay in a consistent state of mood, in a consistent state of performance for a longer period of time. And you'll see a lot of people who work in the top management level, or people who are writers like Robin Sharma, if you have heard of him. So these people follow this kind of diet to take them to a state of thinking where they are able to put in that work, put in that effort into their writing task or their day-to-day activities. Now, one more important question that I saw in the form was how to build lean muscle. A lot of people who are staying at home, they want to improve their lean muscle mass. And this is very important, because when we improve our lean muscle mass, that is what enables us to improve our BMR. And as a result of which, we are able to maintain our weight and at the same time enjoy our favorite food, right? So these are three major body types which we know, like there's ectomorph, endomorph, and mesomorph. Now, if I talk about endomorph and mesomorph, these two are the kind of people who generally don't have a struggle putting on muscle mass, because their metabolism is such, it is easy for them to put on muscle or put on weight. But when I talk about the ectomorph, the skinny folks or the skinny fat folks who have a skinny frame but they still have fat over their arms or their lower belly, these are the people who really struggle putting on muscle. Now, what do we do? How do we deal with this challenge? So the logical solution, like the scientific solution to this thing, is to understand the energy balance of our body. Now, I'll not go too much in detail of this and kill you with boring mathematics, but I'll try to give you a basic idea. So total daily energy expenditure is the total expense of energy from our body. While a major portion of this is BMR, our basic metabolic rate, which our body needs for carrying out necessary tasks like pumping of blood and circulation and everything that happens to keep us alive. Those all functions will already be happening even we are at rest. So this is a part of our BMR. And then apart from this, there's thermic effect of food. So the kind of food we are eating, it takes some energy is needed in digesting it. So different foods have different thermic effect. Then there are workouts which are divided into non-exercise activity and exercise activity. So this is the total energy expenditure. Now, if we know the energy expenditure, while manipulating the energy intake and energy expenditure, we can progress towards our goal, right? So for example, our goal is to put on muscle. It's a logical answer that we need to be in a surplus, because whenever something is being produced, body has to produce muscle. It needs that extra amount of calories to get there. Now, if we take an average example of a person who is 22-year-old, 5'9", 77 kg, their BMR, and you'll find a lot of BMR calculators on Google. This is a very easy task. You just put in your age, your gender, your height and weight, and you'll find an average BMR for you. So this BMR is a figure which gives us a rough idea. Playing with this BMR, we can identify what does it take to keep that person in a surplus. Like 1850 is his BMR, 100 is the thermic effect of food, and 250 calories is burning maybe with his workout, like he's doing some cardio, some gym training, or some exercise at home. So I need to have at least 2200 calories to maintain at this point, right? To maintain myself at 77 kg with the same muscle mass, with the same fat percentage, I need to be having this much amount of calories. But for example, if the goal of this person is to put on muscle, he needs to have a 200 to 300 calorie surplus. Now, a lot of people would say this surplus can come from anywhere, but it is always advised to have this surplus from clean sources of energy. Like you have good homemade food, you have clean carbohydrates, protein, and fats. You do not have junk to get a surplus, right? Because if you're having processed food or junk food to get this kind of a surplus, it is going to be unhealthy in the long run. So an ideal breakdown for that person would be that they have at least 1.5 to 1.8 grams of protein per 1 kg of their body weight. This is going to help their body synthesize muscle and help them in recovery as well. A lot of people do this mistake that they go to the gym or they start working out, but they do not pay attention to their diet. It will not work. After some time, you'll either lose motivation or you will start wondering whether, I'm the only person for whom this is not working. Everyone else who is working out in the gym, they are getting good muscle. But you need to understand that the fundamental change needs to happen in your diet, your macronutrition, your micronutrition, and then your workout, right? So if I talk about the calorie surplus, it is on point, then what kind of workout you need to do? So for people who are underweight, they need to focus more on strength training, because strength training is going to help their body give that stimulus to the muscle, right? Our muscles are basically like fibers. They're fibers, and when they are broken during exercise, they form even stronger the next time. So to break the muscle fibers, to have that synthesis of a stronger fiber next time, we need to do strength training. So strength training would be like doing body weight exercises like squats, your pull-ups, push-ups, your lunges, so which are targeting the big muscles of our body. Yoga, cardio, these are good for doing some stretching, so post-workout stretching. And cardio should be minimum for you, because if your goal is really to put on weight, you do not need to do lot of high volume training, otherwise you lose muscle mass, right? So this kind of workout where people do HIIT or they do a lot of time based workout, you don't have to do that if you're underweight and your goal is to put on muscle. For people who are overweight or obese, on the other hand, they need to ensure they are doing some amount of cardio, while at the same time they also need muscle training, because if they're not giving that stimulus, their muscles won't grow. If their muscles don't grow, their BMR won't improve. And as you saw in the division of TDE, BMR is the biggest chunk of it. So if you're working on improving your muscle mass, your BMR is improving, and that way, you look at people and you wonder that this person is having cakes and everything and not putting on weight. Well, I just look at a dessert and I put on weight. That is because the other person is probably having a better BMR than you, and they have a better muscle composition. So while they look thin, but they do not gain weight because they are having a better body fat percentage, means lower body fat percentage than you, and a better muscle composition. So if you are an overweight, you need to focus on both HIIT and cardio. At the same time, if you are, on neither of the extremes, you're just where you want to be and you want to maintain it there, you also need to ensure that you do some basic exercise. And I would say pick up a sport that you love, right? So that you don't have to motivate yourself every day to exercise. You actually look up to that. Like you look up to that session of badminton or tennis or anything, it becomes a leisure task for you. So if you're an idle weight, pick up any physical activity, any sports. It could be walk with your friends or family, anything. But you make sure you're working out so that you're giving your body that necessary energy expense that is not happening due to a sedentary lifestyle. So these are some of the exercises, right? As we mentioned, you can do it at home. So all of these can be done at home. You don't need any equipment. All you need is consistency and discipline, right? So some upper body exercises are like push-ups and then pike push-ups. Lower body, there are lunges, squats. Then, for core, there are the mountain climbers. So you can do these exercises at your home at your own timing. Like there is no particular time that you have to do in morning or night, but you have to do it, right? Just by idealizing it and thinking that I'll do it sometime in the future, it will not happen. So I hope this gave you some idea about the actionables that you can incorporate: your diet, your micronutrition, your workout. And if you need any specific help, you can again reach out to us. So I'll try to sum it up whatever I said. Stay in a surplus of 200 to 400 if you want to gain weight. Good macro split, ensuring a proper amount of protein in your diet, and increase absorption by adding antioxidants like omega-3, which helps in hypertrophy, and there are other vitamins and minerals which enhance your recovery and also help you in putting on muscle mass. So that's all I wanted to cover for you. I hope you enjoyed this part. Now back to my host. Shivam, you're on mute.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Prakhar. So guys, what Prakhar was sharing, this is the practical application, right? The testimonies that you see, like what Prakhar actually shared, this is what, when people really follow it, this is what they are able to achieve, right? So next thing that we would want to just, this is the last topic that we're going to talk about. After that, I would really request everyone, you can start dropping in your questions. Probably we'll just take 3 to 4 minutes more in giving whatever gyan that we have. I'm pretty sure that we talked about some basic fundamentals of nutrition, and what Kothapre covered, like he covered a very fundamental part of how things have changed, right? And like what kind of problems are coming because people are not understanding the mismatch. Then Shrutika gave a decent understanding of the lifestyle disorders, and Prakhar really talked about that how can you really ensure that you are not getting into that trap. You understand that mismatch and how you can really solve for that, right? So this is the last topic that we're going to cover, and I would really urge everyone, you can keep dropping in your questions. After that, we'll be taking up all your questions. It will be a very open session. If anyone wants to kind of speak, then also like you can maybe ask us your question, right? So this is the last topic, like battling COVID with good nutrition. How do we ensure that we are able to battle COVID with good nutrition, while most of things like the COVID somewhat has settled, but there's a third wave that is expected. So let's really understand, right? So why are some people really suffering from COVID, where for other people it just comes and goes, right? Why is that so? Immunity is one part that plays a very essential role. So it's not just COVID, right? It's any damn thing in this world. If it comes to you and if your body is unable to fight it, that means your immunity is low. So let's understand why is your immunity low, right? First of all, the diet, nutrition that we're eating, that is poor, right? There's lack of physical activity. Physical activity boosts your immunity, right? If you're not doing physical activity, your immunity levels will be low. You are undergoing a lot of stress. There's a lot of work pressure. There's a lot of study pressure on you guys, and that is also something that leads to lower immunity levels, right? Because hormonal imbalance हो जाता है body में. सोते नहीं हो अच्छे से, like there is no fixed schedule of sleeping, right? All of this leads to a weakened immune system. Okay, and see, honestly, the global pandemic that is out there, that is not fundamentally because COVID is very severe, right? It is because people have poor lifestyle. That is the reason why it has turned into a global pandemic. Fundamentally, it's just a flu. Now, I cannot say it on record, but honestly, everybody can really fight the battle if the immunity levels are good. Okay, so let's just take like 2-3 minutes and understand like how does COVID really work on the body, how it attacks the body, right? So this is the basic structure of a COVID virus. If you see on the surface of the virus, there are spike proteins, right? From those spike proteins, the genetic material of the virus is passed into our lungs. So our lungs has receptor cells. वो genetic material हमारे lung में pass हो जाता है. Once that genetic material passes into the lungs start to copy that genetic material. तो होता क्या है? COVID virus fundamentally uses the energy of our body to replicate itself. The ribosomes in our body, they start replicating the COVID virus. So होता क्या है? Like there is just one virus that will enter through the receptor, then it will start photocopying. Now, when this photocopy action starts to happen, the body starts to realize something fishy is going on. Okay, then the immune system is activated. Immune system को समझ आता है यार इतना तादाद में इतने population में इतना virus कैसे बन गया? Then the immune system gets activated, starts the killing action. It starts to kill the virus. And that is when your body temperature increases. जब आपको fever आता है ना virus में, तो that's your immune function. When you take a COVID vaccine, you get a fever, right? That's your immune function. Because virus का जो आपका population बढ़ रहा है, so the immune function is acting. The killing action is fundamentally increasing the temperature. But now what happens? The immune function, when it starts its killing action, हो नहीं पाता कुछ. पता है क्यों? क्योंकि जो उसका source है ना, वो source पे attack नहीं करता. It is attacking the symptom. तो वायरस तो बन के आ रहा है, फोटोकॉपी मशीन में राइबोसोम में बन रहा है. So the immune system needs to ensure that our body defense mechanism needs to ensure that we are treating the problem from the root cause. Then the immune system starts to produce antibodies. Okay, वो antibodies क्या करती हैं? They put a cap on the outer surface. ये जो आप देख रहे हैं yellow spike proteins, उस पे cap डाल देती हैं. So the virus is not able to pass on its genetic material from the receptor cells. When this cap is put on the virus, it is when your body starts to heal, right? Now, what are these antibodies? How are these antibodies produced? These are fundamentally your vitamins and minerals. The antioxidants that you consume in your diet, the vitamins and minerals, which none of us are getting from the food that we eat, because the quality of soil is going down. There are a lot of environmental factors that are coming into play. Because of this, the antibody function is going down, because antibodies बन नहीं रही है. Antibodies कैसे बनेंगी जब body में antioxidants ही नहीं होंगे. Hence, nutritional deficiencies are leading to low immunity levels, which are fundamentally leading to increase in the COVID in people, right? So this is how the COVID really works, and eating a diet rich in antioxidants can actually help you. Now, what Kodhavir talked about, and maintaining a good split in which we are consuming more fats, so that whatever vitamins that we are taking, that sticks in our body. They don't just pass through urine. So just to summarize the entire session, what I can say is all of us need to modify our diet. Okay, none of, like in India is a country where we eat diet which is rich in carbohydrates. All of us really need to modify our diet. That's the first thing, right? The second thing is we need to add antioxidants to our diet. Quality of soil is going down, environment is going down, everything is going down. So we need to ramp up some things. We need to really ramp up our antioxidant levels in the body. Okay, you understand the science behind how to gain lean muscles, how to put on weight, what kind of workout you need to do, and you understood like how COVID works. Basic upar se. This is the basic understanding that can really help you guys. Okay, so while what we talked about is very generic, you can also reach out to us. We'll be more than happy to help you. Okay, if you are confused at how your diet should look like, or if you're suffering from any specific issue, feel free to reach out to us. We'll also share this recording with the hosts, with the Ranbhoomi hosts, and everyone can like kind of walk through, see this recording if you really want to revisit something, right? And if you feel that yes, you are also passionate about health and you want to really do something, right? So you can even associate us with us as a health influencer. We are a community of people, and we have solid training programs with us as well. So आप वो भी कर सकते हो, right? So now I'll start taking up a few questions. This is the question coming from Shopping Biswas. Do you think BMI is the accurate measure for telling how fit you are? Okay, Prakhar, you want to take this?
Yes. So basically, BMI is one indicator. It is just, body mass index. What do you do in that calculation is you divide your weight by your height in meters square. So it is just an indicator that tells that how much weight you're having as compared to your height, right? So there's a certain parameter that your BMI should be in the range of 18 to 23, but it doesn't give the complete picture. Your BMI could be high due to, more fat, or it could be high due to more muscle mass in your body. So if a person is healthy, that means they are in the range of that BMI, but at the same time, for a male, they are having a body fat percentage around 15 to 20, right? And these are just two physical indicators of health. Apart from this, if you want to be healthy, you should be having good lipid profile, good energy levels. You should be able to carry out your daily function without having to, pass on and feel a lack of energy. So this is something which is more intangible. BMI is just one tool, and it is not the complete picture.
Wonderful. So fundamentally, like what Prakhar was telling is, it's more about your body fat percentage, right? One is your body fat percentage. Second are your biomarkers. So our community, why we have named it as biomark, because all the people who we treat, all the people who we deal with, their biomarkers come back in range. Hence we say that they are biomarked. Okay, that's the ideology. So your biomarkers should be in range. All of you would have definitely read this recent incident of Siddharth Shukla, where he kind of was really fit, he was muscular. Probably his body fat percentage also would have been in the range of 12 to 13%, but he died of heart attack, right? Anyone knows why did that happen? Because the primary reason for that happening is that biomarkers in anything. One suffers from heart attack when the arteries are restricted, right? There's hypertension. Hypertension is also one more major lifestyle disorder. Your arteries are not flexible, so that also leads to problems. So you might be fit, you might be muscular, you might look like a hunk, but if your biomarkers are not in range, you're not healthy, period. Right? So we have another question. Can physical exercise also help overcome mental health problems like anxiety? See, whenever you are working out, I'll take this question. So whenever you are working out, your body produces a lot of endorphins. They produce serotonin, all the hormones that release stress, all the happy hormones. Okay, so whenever you are working out, and after working out you take a cold shower, trust me guys, you just try it out, you will feel very relaxed. Work out for, do some basic strength training or do some HIIT, whatever suits you, right? Whatever, if you want help the workout, so that you can reach out to us. Whatever workout you do, just do that workout for 20-30 minutes, and after that take a cold shower. You will feel so relaxed because your happy hormones will get released. You will feel satisfied from within. What is anxiety? We need to define what is anxiety. Anxiety is that you are either living in the past or we are living in the future. कि क्या होगा, exam कैसा जाएगा, अरे ये मैंने ऐसा कर दिया. Stay in the present, right? And to stay in the present is important that we are fundamentally relaxed, and to be relaxed, those hormones have to be in balance. So work out and ensure that you are relaxed, and like try to go for cold showers maybe 3 to 4 times a week. So definitely it can help to reduce anxiety. Working out can short help to reduce anxiety. And if the anxiety problems are really high, we also recommend people to eat brahmi. Brahmi really helps. It's a herb that ensures that your mental health is good and all. It also helps with memory as well. Guys, you can keep sharing your questions. So the Run Movie team is forwarding those questions to us. Yeah, in the time being, if the next questions are coming. So this is a website, biomark.in. If you feel that yes, you need a personalized program, definitely, since all of your students, we'll kind of have a good waiver on the program fee that we charge people. So you can take the lifestyle assessment form. You just register it. You just register yourself going on the website. You fill the form, and like from our team, a certified nutritional advisor is going to get in touch with you. They're going to understand your case in depth. It will be a very the recommendations given will be very personal, so you guys can definitely opt in for that as well. So Shrutika, you want to take up this question? Can meditation also play a good role in improving the health of a person?
Yes. So actually meditation plays a very important role in improving overall health, but only meditation won't help. So I'll just quickly tell that what the meditation will help in which aspects and what all things need to be done for overall health. So meditation will actually help in calming your mind whenever you're in a stressful situation. There are many times when you are stressed a lot, or continuously thoughts are coming inside your mind, you're not feeling relaxed. In those cases, meditation will help in calming your mind, in channelizing the thoughts, in bringing that peace to the mind. Meditation will help in that. Meditation will help in improving your concentration. It will help in improving your sleep quality. So these are the some aspects in which meditation will help. Now only meditation won't help in your overall well-being. For overall well-being, you have to focus on a proper diet, because what goes inside your body, that only determines what your cells are being made of. So a proper diet along with physical exercise and along with meditation, these are the three things which combined help in the overall well-being.
Amazing. Meditation is a good tool. Like even we guys use it, and we even recommend, like anyways we recommend like basic pranayama along with the program that we give people. That's also a form of meditation. Meditation is a very broad term, right? Even studying with concentration is meditation. Focusing on one thing is meditation. Improving your attention span is fundamentally meditation. Or doing nothing is also meditation. Are there any specific signs to know that your fitness routine is working? Great. It's a very broad question, so I would want to segregate this question, right? It depends, Dikshant, what your exact goal is. Okay. Probably would want to highlight more and make the question more pinpointed. So, but say for example that I'll just take a hypothetical case that you are losing weight, right? So say for example you want to lose like 3 to 4 kilos a month, and you're not able to lose that. So you would want to go one step back. So whenever you want to see whether your routine is working or not, just go one step back. You have some result expectations in mind. You either meet them or you don't meet them. यही होता है, या तो आपका हो रहा है वो या नहीं हो रहा है. अगर नहीं हो रहा है, you always go one step back. You don't frustrate over the result that yes, अरे क्यों नहीं हो रहा है, क्या मतलब क्या gap है. You always go one step back, and then you try to see like where I can improve. Okay, because all the problems, the solution to all problems are one step behind that. If you're not losing enough, you probably want to do a proper calorie calculation, or you want to understand whether there's hormonal balance in your body or not. While this question is very broad, but the solution that I can give, go one step back. If you are not getting results, if you're getting results, then your fitness program is anyways working. If you want to kind of maybe pinpoint your question further, then probably I can give more insight here. Okay, guys, probably we'll wait for 2-3 more minutes, and like if some questions come, we'll take up 2 more questions, and then like if any of you has anything you want to discuss in relation to your health, in relation to your lifestyle, nutrition plan, feel free to reach out to us, right? And we have been helping students across IITs, across IIMs, in improving their overall health to achieve their fitness goals. So you can also avail the facility that you have at your disposal. And like as I was saying, if any one of you feels that we are also like passionate about health, or maybe health mein kuch karna hai, right? Not just like full time. Maybe if you just want to become a health influencer as well, even then you can reach out to us. We have an amazing opportunity for you. So even like some people in our team, like they're not like full time nutrition advisors, right? They are passionate about health, so they did their certification, and they are diversifying their streams of revenue, their streams of income, right? So that is also one opportunity that we have for everyone. If anyone is interested, you can reach out to us. Great. So do we have any more questions coming in the Ranbu meeting?
No, I think that was it.
Sure. So I feel that it was great having everyone. We really appreciate that all of you joined in. We hope that we were able to educate you to some extent. थोड़ा मतलब हो सकता है सब कुछ grasp ना किया हो, but even if you have grasped one thing, it's a win for us and it's a win for you as well. And that is what we actually work for, win-win situations. So great. Have a very good evening, guys, and you were a great audience. Thanks a lot, guys. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much for doing this. I'm pretty sure it was a great opportunity for all of us to learn as well, and we had a great time learning so much about fitness and health, especially with our lives, especially in the IPM program being so stressful, where we have to keep going between PORs and then in exams and keep stressing in between. I think the great fundamentals that we grabbed here were amazing. So we would like to thank you on behalf of the Ranbhoomi team and the whole college for giving us with these insights and knowledge. So it was a great workshop. Thank you so much.
Thanks a lot. Take care. Bye-bye.